and you should see Amazon PPC product launches in 2025 after the Amazon ads algorithm change. Let's rock and roll. Okay, so this year, Amazon flipped the ads algorithm. Some of you guys probably have already caught on to this. Some of you guys maybe haven't, but you can see this mini graphic here. I know you can't read that. I'm going to show it to you at full size later, but this is a little pie graph breakdown of what the campaign types were prior to this change and what the campaign types are now for this change. So you could just see visually, it's much more diverse now. And the game for optimizing profitable PPC is completely different than it used to be. So, classic Amazon PPC, good form strategy, right? Doing really good keyword research and setting up a lot of sponsored product campaigns, especially exact match ones. That is a great way to lose a bunch of money now. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do keyword research. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use sponsored products, but I'm saying that having this be the core center of your strategy, it's causing you to miss out on some of the most effective, most profitable campaign types that Amazon is favoring now post this algorithm shift. And I'm going to explain to you what this shift was and is. So old way, right? Heavy on keyword research, focused a lot on exact keyword targeted sponsored product campaigns. And the whole strategy was all centered around keyword escalation from auto campaigns to phrase and broad campaigns to exact campaigns. You used to just look for keywords that are working in auto and broad and phrase campaigns, and then you find ones that are doing well and you put them in exact campaigns. And by the way, for any of you guys that are less advanced, don't worry if you get a little lost. I'm going to be giving you guys a resource that makes this super clear and easy for you. So just stick with me. It's better for you to be with a group like us that's more advanced than it is for you to be with a group that's less advanced than you. So if you don't know some of the lingo or you get a little lost, it's fine. Just stick with me and try to tag along. Some of it'll get in, some of it might not. It's okay. So what's the new way? Wider targeting that lets Amazon's algorithm work. Heavier focus on creative, especially sponsored brand. Centered around diversity of different targeting types and following more of what works and reallocating budget to more of what works, rather than the process just being mechanically escalating keywords and decreasing and increased bids. And the critical thing is, I really should have made this bold in the bottom right here, the PPC data loop. Running an effective PPC data loop is the pillar of success with Amazon PPC in 2025 and 2026. So this strategy that I'm going to walk you through during this little session works for supplements, baby, beauty, pets, toys and games, arts and crafts, sports and outdoors, office, home and kitchen, and apparel. And it works for most other categories as well. There are only certain categories that it's very different for. And typically those are like highly technical categories. Like we have a printer cartridge brand, for example, where most of the keywords are specific models of specific printers. For those, it's very different. And if you fall in that category, it's okay. Drop a comment on this video or in the chat, and we'll try to help you out. Or you can ask a question because we're going to have a session at the end for the Q&A. This strategy works without bid automation software, without hundreds of campaigns to manage, without bulk files or flat files, and without having to know every possible Amazon ads feature. Because what I'm going to do is walk you through simply just a few campaign setup structures that work really well so that you don't have to know. There's literally, with all the different options we have, there's, without exaggeration, millions of different potential campaign setups that you can do. Because of all the different options Amazon has now added to the ad console, they made it really complicated. I'm going to make it really simple. So today we're going to go through real profitable campaigns and real profitable brands. And I'm going to show you what PPC looks like on a profitable brand. So maybe if you are struggling with profitability or margin, you're going to get some inspiration from that. We're going to go through PPC product launches and walk through some real PPC product launches. So again, if you're launching a product or you're planning on launching another product, which you all should be, you should be always launching new products, you can get some inspiration from that. We're going to walk through what the PPC data loop is, which is the cornerstone of strategy with Amazon PPC today. We're going to go through some very advanced campaign strategies, including some that incorporate brand new features Amazon just made available in the ads console, Some of you guys might not even have access to this yet, but you will. So you guys are going to be on the cutting edge as long as you pay attention. And we're going to go over some brand new targeting strategies as well. And you guys will be able to get access to those again, as long as you pay attention. You're going to know by the end of this, as either in this presentation or with the handout that I give you after this presentation, you will know which campaigns to set up, when to set them up, how to set them up, how to make them actually profit, how to rank with them, and what to bid and what to budget. And what I'm going to send you away with is this resource. It's called the Campaign Setup Cheat Sheet. And what this is it has all our favorite campaign setup types, all our favorite campaigns, and exactly how to set up each one. We've also organized them in our favorite ones in sponsored products, sponsored brands, and sponsored display. And we've categorized them in terms of whether they're performance-based, defense-based, research-based, or what did I miss here? Brand, defense, performance, or ranking-based. And if you click this plus on the left-hand side, you see in these fields exactly how to set it up, what match type to put in, what keyword to put in, what the starting bid should be, what to negate, what to put in the placement settings, whether you should use down only, up and down, or fixed. And if you get lost, there's even a video of us setting it up, a 1-minute loom of us setting it up. And we have this for each and every one of the most effective campaign setup types. I don't know anyone else providing a resource like this, and I'm going to give you guys access to this as long as you stick with me throughout the presentation. Later on in it, I'm going to tell you how to access this, but first I have to describe exactly how to use it. So I hope that gets you guys stoked. For any of you guys that are lost or confused with PPC, or you think it's too complicated, there are too many different options, this simplifies it for you, makes it very easy, very clear. And even it's so clear that even if you do get lost, even with it, you can click the video walkthrough and it'll do a 1-minute literal screen share of me setting up this campaign or one of my teammates setting up this campaign. So it's not possible to get lost. In addition to that, I even have sections on this that show you some example brands. So you'll see an example brand with a low budget, an example brand with a high budget, an example brand with a really pricey product, an example brand with a low price product, a consumable brand, a non-consumable brand. And I show exactly what campaign structure I would use for that particular brand to launch a new product or even to help grow an existing product. And you see each campaign and how much budget I put on each one. And this is going to make it so easy and so clear for you guys. So I'm going to be referencing this throughout this session. If you want to get that yourself, make sure to stay to the end of the session and I'll show you exactly how to get it. So just before I'm about to get into the nitty-gritty details, I hate webinars and stuff like that where it's just like a long, boring intro. We're going to get right into it, but I am going to introduce myself so you know who's talking, right? And that'll let you know, why should you care to listen to me? Why should you care to listen to what I'm saying? My name is Chris Rawlings. I've founded 5 multi-million-dollar ventures, all of them at least 7 figures. I'm on my first 8-figure company now, and hopefully soon to be 9-figure company as well. I've been a brand owner and investor since 2015 when I started my first 7-figure brand. I've done over 3,300 product launches on Amazon.com. I'm an 8-figure mastermind mentor in some of the top masterminds in the space. And this is actually an outdated number. I now have nearly $3 million every month in Amazon PPC ad spend, which puts me in the echelon of the top spenders. I have one of the single top spending accounts on Amazon. So this puts me in a unique position to be able to make these observations and help you guys out. I'm the founder of Sophie Society, which is one of the top Amazon advertising partners. We're a verified Amazon ads partner, which means we're partnered with Amazon themselves. And we oversee hundreds of accounts. We have a portfolio of brands, and that's what I'm going to be drawing from and pulling from in some of these sessions with you. Here's a picture of me with some of my team. A lot of my insight and wisdom comes from them. This is only about a third of them, but these guys are smart cookies. I learned early on, well, honestly, I learned too late, but I learned that it's important to put yourself around people that are smarter than you and better than you at things. I did the opposite for a long time, and that really harmed me. So I've now been able to get myself around people who I highly respect, who are much better than me at a lot of this stuff. And this is where a lot of my wisdom comes from. We spend all of our time just masterminding and doing Amazon PPC ads. We do nothing else. We don't do anything but Amazon advertising. We're highly specialized, and that's what we pay attention to all day, every day. That's what you see us talking about here and masterminding here. We're slaving over every different type of targeting, every different type of campaign setup. We've tried everything. And so that's what allows us to simplify it for you. So you don't have to try everything. You can just take our experience, what we've already found out works, and apply it to your brand. Cool. We have fun too, but we spend most of our time working together. We have over 400 portfolio brands. We've done over 3,300 product launches. Here's the right number. So I have this, it's now close to 2.9. So I'm just shy of 3 million a month in Amazon ad spend. Some of the brands we've worked with, Light Boost Coffee. I'm going to speed through these so I get right into the content. Inc. 50 fastest growing companies in the country. We help them, their Amazon presence. Green Gobbler. You probably know this brand if you ever walked into Home Depot. We took them to a high 8-figure exit. Instant Natural, founded by A10 Patel, who went on to conduct the biggest exit in Amazon brand history, sold his company for $600 million. He's my client as well. We work with the top licensors of Discovery Channel, National Geographic, Marvel, Minecraft, Nintendo, DeWalt. You guys get the idea. These are probably, you don't recognize these brands. These are all brands that we work with that are just quietly making millions in the background because we've helped them grow profitably on Amazon with their PPC. We're a verified Amazon ads partner. Our strategy is used in all the top masterminds that you've probably heard of. And I could show you just screenshot after screenshot after screenshot, but you get the idea. We know what works. We do it all day. Now let's get into this content. Okay, so Amazon today, completely full of ads. So if you look at Amazon today, literally scroll one, I took this screenshot a while ago. What you're seeing here is yellow is ads, blue is organic. So what you're seeing here is basically showing you more than half of the first 4 scrolls are ads now. It's actually about 60% of the space in the first 4 scrolls of you typing in a keyword organically on Amazon and looking through the search results are ads. This one organic spot is now no longer there. If you search most keywords on Amazon, all of these are going to be sponsored. So before you scroll, you see nothing that isn't paid for. And that's the situation that we live on Amazon. So it's key to learn PPC and to know how to do it profitably. And that's exactly what I'm going to walk you guys through right now. We are going to get a basic foundation first. Okay. So I'm going to make this extremely simple for you guys. So anyone out there who feels overwhelmed or feels like there's too many options, here is, listen up, okay? We're going to make it so simple. There's 3 ad types: sponsored products, sponsored brands, and sponsored display. Forget about TV and DSP. That's a tiny fraction of what you guys should be worried about. These are the 3 ad types: sponsored products, sponsored brands, sponsored display. There's 4 big goals that you can achieve with a PPC campaign. Any campaign you create fits in one of these 4 categories. You're either using it to drive rank, you're using it to drive profitable sales, you're using it to shield your existing branded search terms and your existing listings, or you're using it for research to find out new product targets and new keyword targets. These are the only 4 things that you can use Amazon PPC to do. Now there's 7 placements on Amazon. That's it. So all these different knobs and dials and buttons and fields that you have inside the Amazon Ads console, all of it is just showing which of these 7 the ad is going to fall on and when it's going to show up and for who. That's literally it. So you have 1, the sponsored brand ad that shows right at the top of search. 2, the sponsored product ads in top of search and rest of search. 3, the sponsored brand video that shows up in the middle of search. 4, the sponsored brand ads that show at the bottom of search with a custom image. 5, you have the sponsored display spots above the fold on the listing. 6, you have the sponsored product ads that show up on a listing. They look like regular thumbnails. And 7, you have sponsored brand videos that show up right above the reviews. And that's it. This is where your ads show up. Everything you see on this screen is everything there is. There are a few other little things that make up a tiny fraction of a percentage point of placements that are not on here. Like, for example, there's a sponsored display ad that sometimes shows up on the left side of search. We're not worrying about that, right? This is the 99.999% of your ad spend is going to just these 7 spots. So I hope that simplifies it for you. Now there's 5 levers that you actually control when you're setting up your PPC. There's targeting, and you can target ASINs, keywords, categories, audiences, or you can retarget people. Those are the only 5 ways you can target. Then there's landing. They can land on the product page, which is the majority of ads. They could land on a custom landing page that you create, or they could land on your storefront when they click the ad. Then there's placement. There's top of search, rest of search, and product pages. And now there's actually 2 more placements that I'm going to show you guys that this is a brand new feature. I'm going to show you guys later in the presentation how to leverage that to get more profit. And then there's creative, custom video, custom image, custom headline, or none of the above, and just using the default thumbnail. And finally, there's bidding strategies. You can either choose up and down only, or fixed. And that's it. Besides budget and bid, which are inputs, field inputs, these are the only 5 things that you can control. So altogether, including budget and bid, these are 7 things that you're setting up every time you set up an Amazon PPC campaign. That's it. So as complicated as the ad console looks like, it's really just this. What you see here, you literally could just open this screen and circle one of these squares in each of these 5 things, and you have everything you need to know about that campaign as long as you know the bid and budget. And by the way, if you get lost on any of these, if you think, oh, but I never know what to bid, or I never know what my budget should be, later on, I'm going to show you guys my YouTube channel. I have videos on all this. I have videos on how to set your bid. It's right on my channel, how to set your budget, what to put in the creative, when to drive traffic to your landing page versus your storefront. It's all there, and it's very easy to find. So you just find that on YouTube. It'll be super easy if you get lost. So again, stick with me. If I start to lose you, just come back and stick with me here, because you will be able to thread along even if you get lost or you don't know all the lingo. You can go back and fill in the gaps later. But this is going to be some of the most valuable time you can possibly spend if you're an Amazon seller right now in 2025 or 2026. Okay, cool. So if you get lost, remember, you're going to get this resource that has literally a step-by-step walkthrough of every one of the campaign types we're going to go through today. So don't worry if you miss something. Don't worry about taking notes. This is going to have everything that you need. And not only are you going to see all of our favorite campaign types, but also, like I said, we have a template for you to plan your own campaign structure. And we even have pre-built campaign templates that show you what we would do for brands at different scales, with different budgets, with different products in different categories. So you can see a bunch of examples. It'll make it so unbelievably clear for you guys and easy. Okay, cool. Here's what the budget planner looks like. So you see you have your campaign here, and we give you the name and convention so you know exactly what to name it, what budget you add to that particular campaign, and at the bottom it tallies the whole budget for you so that you know what your total daily budget is across all campaigns and for each ad type. Cool. I hope that's cool for you guys. This has been really cool for me. This is a resource we only used to give to our own team, and then we decided to give it to you. Cool. All right. I'm keeping an eye on the chat, guys, so please do keep the chat going. And if you have a question that you want me to address live, put it in the Q&A box. So you'll see chat, and then you'll see Q&A. Put it in the Q&A if you want me to address it live. Put it in the chat if you just want me to see it and you want to interact with the other participants here today. Cool. All right. So let's talk about this algorithm change I keep talking about. What is this? Well, Facebook ads came out, the date is wrong here. It came out somewhere around 2012. Facebook ads started, and from 2012 all the way to 2021, running Facebook ads was kind of like operating an airplane. You turn one knob, you push one pedal, and the plane moves a little left or a little right. You have precise control over the plane. And that's what it was all about, narrow audience targeting. Exactly what audience am I going to target? I'm fine-tuning my bids and my budgets nonstop. It's not so much about creative. It was very limited static ad creatives. And it was really more about, how do I target these exact audiences? And we were controlling Amazon ads like you would control a plane or a vehicle. Whereas now, after 2021 rather, in 2022, right after Facebook turned to Meta, they completely flipped their entire ads platform, and it went from narrow audience targeting to now targeting doesn't matter at all. So it's literally just, you trust the algorithm, make sure the conversion event is set up properly, and you focus on diversity and creative diversity and quality. And so it went from managing the ads was like flying an airplane where you're turning all these knobs and dials. to managing the ads is more like a living system and putting in place the right feedback loop so that the ads can get better and better themselves over time. And it is a living system, right? They're using AI algorithms to find the right person for your ad at the right time when they're ready to click it and ready to buy whatever your thing is. And Google actually went through the same thing. If any of you guys have ever advertised on YouTube, you know it used to be all about narrow audience targeting, intense keyword research, niche research, to no targeting at all, trusting the algorithm, having really good creatives, and putting in place a data feedback loop so that you're giving the ads what they need to get better and better at finding the right people. Well, guess what? Amazon just went through the same thing. And now this, what you see on your screen here, is the critical factor to making Amazon ads run fast. I know this is kind of an ugly graphic. We keep it this way because we like to continually be able to edit it. But this is in an infinite whiteboard we use called Miro. What it is now, the game of Amazon PPC, is you've got your PPC campaigns, and we like to think of that as like the horse that carries your warrior into battle. And your warrior is your listing and your thumbnail. Your PPC campaigns carry it in. They wouldn't see the light of day if it wasn't for PPC, because you remember that screenshot before where it's like all of page one is basically ads. So PPC campaigns carry your listing into battle, and all day they're getting impressions, they're getting clicks. Some are clicking and buying, some are clicking and not buying, some are seeing it and not even clicking it. All of that action all day produces data. And that data is collected at the end of each day in the form of the PPC search term reports that Amazon gives us, brand analytics and search query performance report, and your business reports. And the game of PPC now is all about taking all the data from that and then analyzing it, drawing insights from it, and taking actions on our PPC campaigns. And then also, this is what everyone misses, using all that PPC data to draw insights and change things about our listings and change things about our thumbnail as a result of our PPC. And if we run this feedback loop very efficiently, this is how we get campaigns that get more profitable over time instead of less profitable over time. And I'm going to show you a bunch of examples of this. Here's one example of us using this feedback loop. There's a lot of ways that you do it. We become complete experts at this. We launched this home and kitchen product. It was a 6-week launch period. Our A cost over the period of the launch was 37%, which is great for this category at this price point. We went heavy on broad match keyword targeting, product targeting, and auto targeting sponsored product campaigns. And here's what the launch looked like. It went really well. 6 weeks was great to get up to, the run rate that we were up to. Of course, we stocked out after that, but getting up to about $1,000 a day, $1,500 a day in sales profitably was a good product launch, but it wouldn't have worked if we didn't run this feedback loop. So I'm going to get into what these actual campaigns were later, but just so you understand what we did, we were able to rank position number 4 for a medium search volume keyword within just a couple weeks. And you could see the data here, so it's really interesting. Before we got to about $1,000, $1,500 a day in sales, we had this inflection point 2 weeks in where we had enough data to make some big changes. And what we did was we actually used the PPC data and we found out what buyer avatars weren't connecting with our thumbnail. And then we A/B tested some new hypotheses, and you could see this green line is our click-through rate. Then our click-through rate jumped up, our sales jumped up, our A cost went down, and it became a lot more stable. You can see it was very volatile before, just because of that one change, because we looked at the PPC data, we used it to inform our changes, not only on the campaigns, but on the product assets themselves, meaning the listing and the thumbnail. So this process works, right? Here's another example. We took the data from one of our products. It's a push broom. The CPC in sponsored products was $2.37. We decided, hey, this keyword's working great here. Let's make a sponsored brand video campaign with the same keyword, focusing on these features that obviously our customers think are important. And we actually cut the CPC almost in half, taking it down to $1.64, not in half, but that's probably what, 60% less. $1.64 CPC on the very same keyword. And this is a great keyword for us. And just so you know, the creative, this is what the creative actually looked like. Right? It focuses on this heavy duty stuff. It zooms in, it shows like how all the features that are obviously like super quality and meant for utility. And we did that because we saw the data, we took action on it, and we also call this campaign chaining, where we take the data from one campaign and we use it to inform our setup for the next campaign. So we saw that this keyword was performing well. We said, how can we make it perform even better and juice even more out of that keyword? And we found a way to do that by using a different ad type and tailoring creative to that particular keyword. Now, these are just two examples of how to do this. There are tons of ways to do this. We did the same thing with this, with the primary image that I told you about last time. And we saw that those keywords were performing well. We used them to inform the changes on the thumbnail, which was made in USA, and the grip. Those two things were very important based on the keyword data we were getting back from our campaigns. We updated the primary image, and you could see, boom, right when we did that, skyrocketed the CPC. Sorry, not the CPC. It skyrocketed the CTR, the click-through rate. Cool. So running this PPC data loop, there's a ton of ways you do this. This is really more of an art than a science. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. But the key is, this is what produces the results now. Not, doing a ton of research and fine-tuning your bid. That's all important too, to do keyword research and do bid adjustments. But that used to be the whole game. Now the game is this, using the PPC data to inform the changes that you make to not only the campaigns, but the listings and the thumbnails. And then everything gets profitable and more profitable over time. So yeah, this is the metaphor we like. Your ads carry your listing and your thumbnail into battle. All day they duke it out. And then at the end of the day, they come home with the data, which we use to go to battle even better the very next day. And we do that over and over and over again. Cool. So like I promised, we're going to get into some real product launches here, guys. And by the way, I'm keeping an eye on the chat. So anything that you have to say there, please do drop it in. So here's that chart I showed you a zoomed out version of a little bit ago. And this kind of exemplifies the change between PPC before and PPC now. It used to be all about exact single keyword campaigns, or at least exact match sponsored product campaigns. We would do a ton of keyword research, focus all or most of our ad spend on exact campaigns, and a lot of them on exact single keyword campaigns, because we wanted to rank, right? And then we would have some exact multi-keyword campaigns, and then maybe test out a few other campaign types. Now it looks a lot more like this. Our campaign budget might be spread across exact single keyword, exact multi-keyword, product targeting campaigns, broad match campaigns, sponsor brand video campaigns, category targeting campaigns, and auto campaigns. And then we see what's performing best and we just feed that. So this pie chart changes as we get data back. And that's what PPC is today. And that's why we've organized in this asset that I'm giving you our campaigns into sponsor products, sponsor brands, and sponsor display. And you're going to see a big diversity of different campaign types. Right here, I'm in the launch tab, but you guys are going to see we have tabs for launch, expansion phase, and harvest phase, meaning more and more mature products on Amazon. And you'll see in each of those different phases, all of the most effective campaign types in all of the different ad types for those phases. So let's go through some real launches. So here's a skincare brand. Launch period was 4 weeks. This is high competition. We focus heavily on sponsored product audiences, phrase match targeting, and sponsor brand video. And you could see we crushed it with this launch. We went from like $1,000 a day to like $4,000 a day with this product launch. It completely changed the whole game for this brand. This just happened. And I'm sharing it with you, really quickly because I want to show you guys what's working right now, right? So this is recent stuff. This is what the PPC looked like. You could see it just exploded after this product launch. Everything is going in the right direction, but our ACoS got stable and is at a low, very reasonable level. So here's the campaigns. By the way, this ACoS, it depending on what category you're in, you might think that looks good. You might think that looks high. You might think that looks medium. For a high competition, consumable skincare brand in the beauty category, this is an incredible ACoS, because what you're really measuring when you're in consumable is LACoS, lifetime ACoS, because there's going to be repeat purchases throughout the year. So that's what you're really measuring. And that's why ACoS tends to be high in consumables, because most brands that are really mature, they're measuring LACoS, not ACoS. So even if they pay 100% ACoS, they know if they get 5 purchases over the span of a year from that first purchase, their actual LACoS is actually only 20%. And that's why they're willing to spend 100% on the first sale. So getting a ACoS in the 20s and 30s That's incredible for a brand new skincare product launch. And we're very proud of this. Here are the campaigns that did it. So we have a sponsored product manual keyword targeted campaign. This is phrase match with 120% top of search bid adjuster and a 20% audience-based bid adjuster. I'm going to explain what that is later. Some of you guys probably don't even know what that is. Next, we have a sponsored brand video campaign, and this is targeting exact keywords, in this case, sunscreen keywords. Then we have another sponsored product campaign, but product targeting. And by the way, I'm going down in order of how much revenue the campaign's generated. So notice, not a single keyword, not a single campaign so far has been a single keyword exact match campaign in sponsored products, or even an exact match campaign in sponsored products at all. We have sponsored product and sponsored brand videos are very, second best performing campaign and one of our best in terms of ACoS. Product targeting is our best in terms of ACoS. Then we have more product targeting, and in this case, it's expanded product targeting. Then we have phrase match, rest of search. Then we have a sponsored brand video campaign again, broad match in this case. Then we have phrase match sponsored product campaigns with a top of search bid adjuster and an audience bid adjuster. Again, if you don't know what this means, stick with me. I'm going to show you guys exactly what this is, and you're going to get a take home thing to show you what to do on your own. And then finally, we have here a sponsored product exact match single keyword campaign, but this one is our last campaign on the list. So a vast majority of the ad spend had nothing to do with sponsored product exact match campaigns. Now, it's not always like that, but what I'm trying to explain to you guys is a diversity of campaign types is so much more critical now than it ever was before. And there's only a few that perform really well. Some of them you could see on my screen right here. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do them. But first, let's go through a few other example launches so we get an idea of what we're working with here. So here we have a consumables brand. This is a medium to high volume supplement product. So it's niche supplement, but not too niche. It's not omega-3, but it's also not some herb you've never heard of. It's somewhere in the middle, right? The launch period is 12 weeks. In this case, we did go heavy on exact match ranking campaigns because ranking for the organic keywords was the main thing we wanted to do, and we had the budget for it. We also did some sponsored brand video campaigns, and we did some broad match sponsored product campaigns. Our launch ACoS was 88%. That might sound high to you, but our launch TACoS was 22%, whereas our break-even TACoS is something like 55%. So we were profitable in this launch. And for a medium high volume supplement to be profitable within 12 weeks of the launch, that's basically unheard of, unless you have like a $500,000 budget and you blast everyone out of the water and you have a ton of other products and brand loyalty on the platform already. Usually supplements that are pretty high volume, they're not profitable until 6 to 7 months into their launch. So this is a successful product launch. You can see the screenshot here. The ACoS might look high, but it's not about the ACoS. The reason the ACoS is high is because we focus a lot of our campaigns on ranking, and that produced really good results on ranking. You can see our TACoS just went down every single week. It started 96%, then it went down to the 40s, 30s, and it ended at 22%. It's still trending down now. So yeah, we got to about 30 units a day within this 12-week period. We ranked number 2 for a search 62,000 per month search volume keyword. And here's what the campaigns look like. So in this case, we did go for sponsored product manual exact match keyword targeted for the first 2. Then we had broad match and broad modified sponsored product campaigns. Then a sponsored product auto campaign. Then another sponsored product exact match campaign with more keywords we want to rank for. And then we did a product targeted campaign with both exact and expanded targeting. Again, I'm going to walk through this with you guys. You're going to have to take the home thing. If you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, don't worry about that. We're going to get into it. But for those of you guys that are a little more advanced, you might be surprised by some of these campaign setups. These are the campaigns that are performing the best for us now. And that was for one where the keyword ranking was the most important thing. It's not always like that. All right, let's look at a home goods brand. Launch ACoS 17%. So for those of you guys that are trying to go lean on your new product launches, pay attention. This is a medium to high search volume niche. The launch period was 8 weeks. Over those 8 weeks, our ACoS was 17%, brand new product launch. This one went heavy on auto close match and auto substitutes, category targeting, and broad match. Very little exact match in this one. So here's a screenshot here. You can see ACoS 17%, 64K in sales over a period of 8 weeks. And we ended up getting this to about $1,500 a day plus. Actually, I think now it's more like over $2,000 a day in sales, and they're very profitable sales. So we got an auto close match campaign as our best performing campaign. Then a category targeting campaign targeting our same category, our next best performing campaign. Then another auto campaign and a broad match campaign are our next two best. After that, we have another auto campaign, then a product targeting campaign, then an auto campaign targeting close match, and then another product targeting campaign targeting competitors' ASINs. So notice that we really didn't do any exact keyword targeting on this. We focused on leaner campaign types that are likely to provide lower ACoS. And when we set up an initial set of campaigns, we continually adjusted our bids and budgets until we were giving most of the juice towards the campaigns that were performing the best, which in this case, you might be surprised to find that the auto campaign performed the best and ended up generating the most sales at one of the lowest ACoS, which is just an auto close match campaign. So pretty cool, right? Very different than what you're probably used to. You can see our tacos over this time dropped down to 9%. Super profitable tacos. I think the break-even tacos on this is like 40% or something like that. So already a super profitable product 8 weeks in. And those are the campaigns that we did to get that result. All right. I'm actually seeing that I'm running a little bit low on time based on where I'm pacing here. So I'm going to try to go a little bit faster. I'm keeping an eye on the chat here as well. Thank you guys for putting in those terms for those people that are earlier on in their journey. So here's another kitchen product. We launched it over a period of 6 weeks. This one went really heavy on product targeting. We also had broad match sponsored product campaigns and sponsored display campaigns to help cross promote. Our launch ACoS was 16%. So you can see the screenshot here. The sales, yeah, they're low over this period. We're looking at a period of about 3 weeks. So 3 weeks, 9K. But the thing is, this is a smaller brand, smaller product, and we launched it at a very low ACoS. And I'm trying to share with you guys, a diversity of different brand scales. So you can see our top performing campaign, 11% ACoS, is a sponsored product auto campaign targeting substitutes. Then our second best performing campaign is actually a sponsored display product targeting campaign. Then we have a sponsored product targeting campaign, another sponsored product targeting campaign, and then we get to a sponsored product. This is another sponsored product targeting campaign. And then we get to a sponsored product targeting campaign again. Then we have a close match auto campaign in sponsored products. Then a sponsored product manual campaign targeting keywords. So most of the top campaigns were product targeting campaigns and auto campaigns. So the top campaign is a sponsored product auto campaign. Then after that, we have a sponsored display product targeting campaign, and then pretty much all sponsored product targeting campaigns after that. And that's what produced this super profitable launch. Low revenue, but it was a very, very niche product, and it's very, very profitable. Okay, let's go through a couple of brands that are already launched that are more mature so I can show you how this plays out in the long term. So here's a brand that we've scaled over the past 2 years. This is a niche skincare brand. It's doing millions in sales. At this point, we're just shy of about $1 million a month in revenue, total organic for this brand. And I'm going to walk you through what the campaign types are here. Okay, so top to bottom, we're looking in terms of total revenue generated by the campaign, right? So most important to least important. The top campaign was a single keyword exact match campaign. In this case, it was really critical to rank for this keyword. So you can see it's not among the lowest ACoS, but it was super important to rank for this keyword. So we spent a lot on that. Then we had a sponsored product keyword targeting campaign, phrase match, with a grouping of keywords based on buyer intent. After that, we have a sponsored product keyword targeting campaign, broad match, with another keyword grouping. Then a keyword targeted phrase match campaign targeting a single keyword. Then we have a sponsored product targeting campaign targeting high volume competitors. And in order to do that, we did a lot of competitor research to find the top competitors that we thought made the most sense to advertise on. After that, we had a sponsored product branded search term campaign. And then after that, a sponsored brand video campaign, keyword targeted, with the top search terms that were performing in sponsored products. So that's really critical. This is what I was talking about before with the campaign chaining. So very critical here that you take the keywords that work in sponsored products and you use those to inform what targets you target with your sponsored brand campaigns. After that, the next best campaign was a sponsored product auto campaign. We call this a catch all campaign. We put a low bid and we try to catch when other competitors are running out of budget during the day and the CPCs drop. We catch those sales, those cheap clicks. And this can be a really effective campaign. You can see the ACoS is on the lower end here. Then we have another sponsored brand campaign with a headline custom image and another sponsored product campaign, broad match keyword targeting. And that's what produced this intense growth where we literally took this brand from around 100K a month all the way up to $1 million a month in total sales. And it's only continuing to grow from there. I believe this brand is going to be 9 figures within a couple of years. That's what the campaign structure looks like. I'm giving you guys the inside peek here. I don't know anywhere else that you could get this kind of peek into what big brands are doing now, what successful brands are doing right now that's actually working. So I hope this is valuable to you guys. All right, here's another one, a niche supplements brand. We were able to 10x this brand in the span of a single year, taking it from about 80 units a day to up to about 800 units a day. And it's only continuing to grow. We have a few stockouts, but the brand is going to continue to grow parabolically. And here's what the ads looks like. And this is very typical for a consumables brand. The ACoS drops down as time goes on, and the TACoS drops even more precipitously, where the sales go up over time. So if you're in the beginning of a consumables brand launch, keep this in mind. Your ACoS is always going to be higher in the beginning because you haven't yet had the repeat purchases kick into your economics. The longer you stay in the game with a consumables brand, the more economical it gets because you get more and more of your purchases from repeat purchase buyers. So there's always this inverted graph where lines cross as time goes on, right? And this is what it looks like. So here's the campaigns that performed this result. We had 2 exact match campaigns here because in this case, it was very important to rank for these keywords. Then we have a category targeting campaign in sponsored products. Then another keyword targeted campaign with a grouping of keywords grouped by buyer intent. I'll explain what that means in a second. Then another category targeting campaign targeting a different category than the one that we're in. Then we have 2 auto targeting campaigns, 2 product targeting campaigns, and finally another auto targeting campaign with all 4 ad groups in there testing different bids on each of the different ad groups. And this is what produced this intense 10x result. These are the top campaigns that produce that result. Cool. All right. I'm going to go through one more, and then I'm going to get into some other ninja stuff, some super ninja tactics. Then we'll get into some Q&A, and we'll try to wrap this up so we don't take too much of your time and we spend your time the most wisely. Okay. So this is a sports and outdoors brand. This brand is running at a 30% ACoS. You can see about $500,000 in sales over this time period. And the campaigns looks like this. Sponsor brand video is providing more sales than any other campaign by far. You can see its exact keyword targeting, and the keywords were informed by the terms that were working best in sponsored products. So sponsor brand video is the top campaign, then a broad match sponsored product campaign, then another sponsor brand video targeting a different keyword, then another sponsored product campaign targeting an exact keyword, another sponsored product campaign targeting an exact keyword, then another sponsor brand video campaign, but this one targeting products instead of targeting keywords, then another sponsor brand video campaign with broad match keyword targeting and a restive search bid adjuster, then a sponsored brand video campaign sending to the storefront with broad keyword targeting, and then sponsored display category targeting. And that's it. Now, let's walk through a couple campaigns that are a couple accounts that are super profitable so you know what profitable PPC looks like. We've seen what product launch PPC looks like, what fast-paced big brands PPC looks like that are growing really quickly. Now let's look at what PPC looks like on some super profitable campaigns that have really high margins. accounts have really high margins. So this is an account that we took on. We were able to increase the margins dramatically, almost doubling the net profit. We kept the sales about steady, but we just rearranged all the ads. And over the course of really 3 months, we were able to more than double the net profit by making the ads more efficient. And what we did was we diverted ad spend away from exact match, single keyword targeted campaigns and sponsored products towards other ad types. So we have product targeting expanded is actually providing most of the sales. There's a sponsored product expanded product targeting campaign. Then we have a phrase match sponsored product campaign targeting keywords from our keyword research and from our search term reports. Then we have another product targeting campaigns targeting our own brand. So this is called a brand defense campaign. You see the ACoS is always pretty low on those. Then we have a phrase match sponsored product campaign. Then an auto campaign in sponsored products. So you can see none of these are exact match sponsored product campaigns because those were spending a lot of money and wasting a lot of ad spend. And since we knew they weren't contributing enough to our keyword ranking to be worth it, we just shut them off. We reallocated the ad spend to the campaigns that were the leanest, used the bid adjusters and the bids themselves to dial them in, and we got a super, super profitable brand. Here's another one where we were able to increase the profit on the brand very significantly while increasing sales. This is a wedding accessories brand. And in this case, we were actually pretty close to ranking. So we did go with single keyword campaigns. And the main improvement in profit was we went from page 2 to page 1. So this is where you have to make a judgment call. If you're close or you think you have a shot at ranking for the keyword, then yes, focus more of the ad spend on those single keywords so that you can rank it. Just know that they're going to be high ACoS. If you know you don't have a shot, forget about it. If you're like, oh, the top keyword gets 200,000 searches a month, you're never going to rank for it with a budget of $100 a day. It's just not going to happen. So forget about it and try some of these other ad types that are more lean, and that's going to help you. All right, here is a profitable herbal oil brand. We were able to take the profit and almost triple it over this time span while increasing sales and increasing ad spend. You can see the most recent month here is the most profitable month and also the highest selling month, and it's only continued from there. Here's what the campaigns look like. So we have a sponsored product auto campaign with all 4 match types producing most of the sales by far. So that's producing $72,000 in sales, whereas the next top performing campaign down here is producing $2,000 in sales. So it's literally like 20 times as much sales from this top campaign. And this is where, again, you just have to keep feeding whatever campaign types are working best. Next, you have broad match sponsored product campaign. Then we have product targeting sponsored product campaign. Then another product targeting campaign, and these are all organized by shopper intent. So this is targeting people who search capsules. This one is targeting people who search, including this term alpha. Then we have another sponsored product campaign with exact keywords. And finally, a sponsored product targeting campaign targeting competitors' ASINs. And this is what produced much more profit for this brand. Again, this was diverting traffic away from single keyword exact match campaigns that were bleeding the budget and towards more campaigns that were leaner and driving profitable sales. All right, here's a home decor brand. We took it from negative profit to very positive profit. So you can't even put a percentage change on that because it was negative before. We were able to get this brand from not profiting at all, in fact, losing money, to profiting over $20,000 every month in take-home net profit. Here's what the campaigns look like on that. We have a sponsored product targeting campaign targeting top competitors. This is the best performing campaign. Then we have an auto campaign. This is our second best performing campaign. Then we have a broad match campaign and broad modified campaign targeting a particular search buyer intent, in this case, welcome mat. Then we have a single keyword exact match campaign is the 4th top spending campaign. So it's a minority of ad spend. And finally, a sponsored brand video campaign targeting some of the same keywords that were working well inside sponsored products. I think you guys are starting to get the picture here. Here's another, I gotta cut it off here, guys. I've got tons and tons of examples, but we have to move on. So I'm gonna actually skip through this. We got this office products brand from negative profit to over $4,000 a week in profit. Campaigns I'm going to have to switch. Gourmet candy brand, grew that super precipitously. This electronics brand, we got them to over 40,000 per week in profit. So it's 160,000 a month in profit. I'm not talking revenue, I'm talking profit. All with the same, I think you guys are getting the idea. There's a pattern emerging here, right? You still can use single keyword sponsored product campaigns if you know that you have a shot for ranking page 1. If that is not going to happen, you have to diversify the ad types and the targeting types. Try category targeting, broad match, and focus heavily on creative, like sponsored brand video. Okay? That's some of the main messages I want you guys to take away. And if you want to know exactly what campaigns to set up and what to budget, use the handout that we're going to be giving you guys in a couple minutes. And you'll be able to reference that and utilize that as your little framework going forward. Okay, so let's walk through some ninja stuff. These are brand new abilities in Amazon that they just gave us access to. So you see, some of you guys might not even see this in your ad console yet, but if you don't, you will soon. So definitely pay attention because this can produce incredible results. So there's a new sponsored product targeting type. It's called audiences. You're not going to notice this inside the targeting tab. In fact, it actually shows under bid adjustments, which is weird because it's actually targeting. But Amazon decided to put it in the bid adjustments field. So it's hidden. It's hard to find. But this was actually one of the strategies that we used to do this incredibly profitable, incredibly high competition product launch that absolutely exploded our sales for this particular brand. And we used this new audience targeting. We literally just did this. And the metrics for this launch were incredible. I already went through these campaigns with you guys. But this AU 20%, what this means is we put a 20% bid adjuster on audiences. So to get here, you're going to click sponsored products. It's also available in sponsored brands. Scroll down to the bid adjustments area, and you'll see on the right-hand side audiences. If you don't have access to this, ask Amazon to give you access. Click increase bid for audiences built by Amazon, and now you'll see these 3 options. Highly likely to purchase based on recent shopping activity, clicked or added brands product to cart, and purchased brands product. So some of these are going to look familiar because purchased brands product is retargeting, right? That's just like sponsored display purchase retargeting. Clicked or added brands product to cart, that's just like what you have access to in brand tailored promotions, where you can send a promotion just to people who have added your product to their cart, but they didn't buy it. But this other one is new. This other one that says highly likely to purchase based on recent shopping activity. That's basically Amazon telling us we're giving you guys the algorithm that our algorithm has said these guys are likely to purchase your product based on everything else we know about them. That's incredible, right? And we were able to produce really good results. So you can actually see how this is performing after a while by clicking bid adjustments in the campaign, going over to audiences, and then scrolling over and seeing what your ACoS was for that bid adjusted audience versus the whole campaign. In our case, highly likelihood to purchase based on recent shopping activity had a 21% ACoS, whereas the campaign as a whole had over a 30% ACoS. So it's like a 50% reduction, right? Well, it's like a 35% reduction in ACoS. So the ACoS for the campaign was 50% higher than the ACoS for this highly likelihood to purchase audience. Super powerful, right? And that was actually the case in all of our campaigns. The ACoS for that targeting group was significantly lower. So this can be really powerful. It's kind of weird. It's like, why would Amazon not already show our ad to people who are highly likely to purchase? But hey, whatever they give us access to, we should utilize it, right? And this is working now. I will say it's not working on all accounts. We have tested this out on accounts and products where it didn't work. But on a lot of accounts like the one I'm showing you here, it actually had a significant improvement. So it's definitely worth testing. All right, here's a way to easily boost profit. Focus on your B2B sales. Now, this is a little hack for you guys. We were able to use these strategies to double our B2B orders in just the span of a couple weeks. What is B2B? Well, buyers who are signed up to Amazon as business buyers, they see this different little tag. See this blue tag? It says save 3% on 6+ units. Buyers from businesses see a different thing when they sign on to Amazon than you and I do as regular shoppers. and we can tailor our listings to them by setting up business pricing, bulk pricing, and most importantly and most relevantly now, which just became available, is the business buyer bid adjustment field. And that allows us to boost our placements, our ads for business buyers who are likely to buy a lot of units, i.e., much more efficient ad spend, right? You might think, oh, my product's not really for business buyers. You'd be surprised. You know, I used to sell these back supports that I thought were just for truckers and people taking long car rides, but people would buy them that were running trucking companies or that were running like, fleets of vans for all of their drivers. And they would buy like 50, 100 at a time. I didn't know this was a business buyer type product, but it turned out to be. So people do all kinds of stuff with business. They run events, they host parties, they do all kinds of stuff. You don't know if your product is viable for business buyers until you test this out, right? So here's what a business buyer sees. They see the business price instead of the regular price, and they see the bulk pricing. Now, how do you set that up? So you're going to go to Amazon Seller Central, click on settings, click on account info. Then you go to account overview in the sidebar, select manage your services, select Amazon B2B, and then click enroll. Then you're going to go into your inventory, select preferences, select business price, make sure that's checked. And then in your inventory, you'll see this field now, and you can input your business price or you can input bulk pricing. So you could say if they buy 2, they get $5 off. If they buy 5, they get $10 off. If they get 20, they get $15 off, whatever you want to put in there. All right, now here's the new strategy. Under bid adjustments, when you're setting up your ads, you can check this box, further increase bids across placements on Amazon Business. And this is the main way that we were able to actually increase our B2B purchases by 100%, doubling the number of B2B purchases we were getting, is by using this business buyer business placement. To check how it's doing, you're just going to go to bid adjustments once you click into your campaign. And then instead of clicking all placements here, you go to Amazon Business Placements. And then here you'll see how that placement is doing in terms of its ACoS. And you can compare that to the campaign as a whole to see how much better of economics you're getting with your business buyer placements. You can also target business buyer keywords like bulk keywords, for example, office chairs bulk. Here's an example of that. And you can also target days that Amazon calls business value days. So Amazon has their own little holidays just for business buyers, and you can ramp up your spend on these keywords and ramp up your business buyer placement settings during these days to get a lot of super profitable bulk sales. Cool. Okay. Amazon also now allows you to just advertise only on Amazon Business through its sites field. So you can either advertise on Amazon and beyond, quote unquote, what it's calling, or just Amazon Business to just target Amazon business buyers. Cool. All right. As a reminder, a lot of these strategies and these successes didn't come just from me. They came from my team. I put a lot of smart people around me. And if any of you guys are ever interested in engaging with a PPC partner that really knows what they're doing, feel free to reach out to me. It could be the difference between you a year from now growing like this or just growing like this. And the cost of not action is what you would have grown to a year from now if you did bring on a smart partner instead of just continuing to do it alone.